A function at Noble Knight that I've come to appreciate over the last year or so has been the wish list. And I've twice now gotten notifications of games I'd pretty much given up on. And this is the third time. This is what's supposed to be in very good condition, a hardcover copy of the revised version of SLA Industries. I got the original when it was new. It was a softcover book, gorgeous, and I didn't get to do very much with it. So it's been on my mind for 20 years. So the revised version to inspire me to push a little harder to see if I can do more with the game, especially as I hear a new version of the game is on its way. Simply removing one piece of tape gives us easy access to the bottom and the famous wrapping paper. Yeah. The book is wrapped and, as I so very much appreciate, sealed up in the industrial strength Ziploc bag. Let's see if I can get that one-handed. It was a very big book when it was softcover, and it was in an unusual size, which I see has been altered for the hardcover. This is more a standard size, which is nice. It won't be too tall to fit on the shelf. And as you can see, it's if you're not familiar with SLA Industries, it's a pretty grim setting. Let me get out of the plastic. As I mentioned, it was listed as very good or very good plus, and I'm not seeing any blemishes on the cover nor damaging of the corners. So once again, very impressed with Noble Knight's rating service. As you can see, there's some kind of armored and promoted combatant on the front. And that's just one part of the strange things that you can get up to with SLA Industries. You can basically be a sponsored serial killer on television. The back is equally clean, and looking down the side of the pages I can see marks from thumbing, but the binding is still very, very tight. It's as if it had never been opened, although obviously it had. So an excellent find at a great price from Noble Knight. The role-playing game of futuristic urban horror. This is industrialized city worlds, layer after layer after layer of city, no natural planet left. Pretty intense. And lots of intrigue and violence. But why would you play a game like this? I think the best answer to that question is this. Inside, the book is full of nice artistic touches, crumpled paper, very, very interesting art with a very 90s feel, an eternal 90s feel. Dense text, but lots of art. It's a very suggestive or, oftentimes useful art. The themes of violence, darkness, shadow, depression, permeating pretty much every page. The game system is not overly complex. It's an early example of characteristic plus die pool system. It's a 2d10 plus attribute versus target number with critical successes and failures and lots of modifiers to add depending on situation and reason. There are a variety of occupations to play, each described and developed so they can be more broadly interpreted by the player and listed with, in a way that's reminiscent of White Wolf games of the time, listed with their perceptions of the other common occupations or societal roles. So there's the frother, there's the very cool kind of Alice Cooper-inspired brain waster, there's the ebon. Some of these are, let's say, physically enhanced by various means. Others tap into almost a psychic force or supernatural force. You can kind of imply that from the brain waster. There's the Stormer, a created being, the Shakhtar, right? A warrior race, the Wraith Raider. You know, doesn't seem like a lot of options, but they can be personalized quite extensively. And remember, this game explores inner mysteries and outer mysteries and conspiracies mainly through an analysis of your inner drives, your greed, your need to survive, your need to use other people in order to take that next step, and of course through the exploration of ultraviolence. A lot of that violence in the game comes from the things that live in the places where people no longer can, in the dark and forgotten parts of the city. It's a very, very brutal, very, very moody setting, very much inspired by the decade from which it came, and I'm looking forward in the future to seeing how the game is reinterpreted or represented for this century. But that doesn't mean I don't want to play this one, because I'm still very much a product of my time too.